Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to be looking through 3 games that came with one of my Boxed A1200s. All 3 games are pre-AGA games, so I haven't a clue if they're going to work with the Amiga 1200. So let's start. Here they are. 3 games, 3 to try. Now I've played F18 Interceptor before, which was supplied in exactly the same jewelled case for my Amiga 500 way back in the 80s. But Ferrari Formula 1 and Powerdrome are unknown quantities for me, and hopefully we'll get to play them today. Now these are numbered down the side, but I'm not going to go in number order. I'm going to go in the order of what haven't I played. So F18 Interceptor, you're going to be last. Right, I just want to preface this with the fact that I don't know if any of these games are going to work. This is the first time I've put any of them in this Amiga 1200 or any machine. So this is as much voyage of discovery for me as it is you. First up is Ferrari Formula 1. Now, because I've got an SD card mounted internally now, I've put the disc in, then switched the Amiga on. Otherwise it will boot up into the SD card. So Ferrari Formula 1 is loading. Interestingly, it brings up an Amiga DOS window. That's a good start, isn't it? Let us try. That could actually be to do with the chipset that's being used. So let's try holding down both mouse buttons and just booting at something approximating an Amiga 500. So we're in the early startup menu, early startup control as it's called up here. This is accessed by holding down both mouse buttons when you reboot the machine or before you switch it on. Just hold them down until this appears. Now I'm going to disable CPU caches. They didn't exist on the 68000 that was in the original Amiga 500, so we'll do that. I'm not going to disable any of the other disks. I don't think that's important. And I'm going to put it to original chipset. And let's load from there. It's a noisy floppy drive on this one. This disc is causing a lot of noise. Now it doesn't like that, does it? Is that a gammy disc? I think it could be a gammy disc. I'm going to give up with that one. That may need a lower kickstart as well, and I don't know if I've got anything to handle that at present. Let's go on to the next game. So game number 2, Powerdrome. Another Electronic Arts game. I think all 3 are. I've commented before, this is Ben-Hur in the 25th century. So let's try putting that in. Okay, again I'm going to start with it in the disk drive. I haven't tweaked any of the startup sequence at this point. Wow, it's brought up a funky workbench. What a lovely mouse that is. It has mounted my SD card, but we only care about Powerdrome today on the 98% full 880k disc. It's a confusing mouse, that you're not really sure whether it's thinking or not. It doesn't exactly scream usability there, EA. Oh, we have an image. Bear in mind, as I said before, that I have not tweaked the startup at this point, so whether this utilises or is able to work with the 68030 on the Blizzard, or use the... Oh, it's crashed. Software failure. Right, I'm going to switch the machine off and we'll go back into the user startup. Well, I've disabled CPU caches again. I've put it back on the original chipset again. Let's boot it. This will again take us into a rather pretty workbench screen. Eventually. We know it's thinking now because it's got a bright green timer. Lovely red. But I'm not really sure where the point is on here because it doesn't seem to be in the top left hand corner. Oh yay. This game is over 30 years old. Oh, well, it hasn't crashed. Let me get this camera set up on a tripod and we'll play it. Right, the camera's on a tripod. Let's give it a go. I need to enter a name. Wow, that keyboard is blimey. I can't hit a single key fast enough. I wonder why that is. I've disabled CPU caches. Maybe the 030 is still live. Maybe I'd have to hold down the 2 key and completely kill it for the duration, but let's try that. Right, there's no music just yet. I've got the speaker on. Right, we've got a mouse menu system. Let's put it to joystick mode because I've got my Amiga kit joystick here. Thank you, Amiga kit, as always. Mouse control, joystick control, data link. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that because I can't. Let's do a race. I assume that's what it is. There's no actual text underneath the icons themselves. I don't know if I actioned that or whether it was the game itself. Yeah. Oops. Now this is very smooth, as it should be if there's a 030. Right. I seem to be in some kind of spin. Yeah, I've crashed it. Well, we've got a rear view mirror, we've got a map, and there goes one of my opponents into the distance. So the game loads, at least, up to this point. I've seen a grand total of 34 seconds before the game decided to freeze. This might be something that's worth booting with the Blizzard turned off, so that's going to be an interesting thing to do. How do I hold down both mouse buttons and the 2 key at the same time? Bear with me. Okay, I've switched it off. Let's boot the game. Just loading up the beautiful workbench. As you can see from the workbench title, there's 0k other mem. So that means that we're not getting any fast RAM from that board either, so the Blizzard's completely switched off. Now it's a bit old, so I hope and pray that it will switch back on when I do a reboot. Let's see if this has any... no, still stupidly fast. You have to touch type with it. Back on joystick control, I don't trust the mouse control. We have many different tracks. Let's try this one today. So spacebar does kick you out of there, right? Let's go. I don't know what's happening here. Strangely, P doesn't pause the game. See, it's got to 34 seconds again and frozen. I doubt there's anything in the manual that says the game will freeze after 34 seconds, so make the best use of it that you can. Just looking through the manual now. Refueling RoboPit. Well, that excites, doesn't it? Oh, here we go. Keyboard controls. E, engine on and off. Oh, and they give you a proximity warning when you get near a wall, which, you know, is kind of all the time. I'm going to put in F18 Interceptor. I've had enough of this. Okay, so the third game we're going to test is F18 Interceptor. I've already reset the machine and can see that the Blizzard is working once more, so no issues there. I'm not going to tweak the boot options though. I want to see whether or not this works with all that extra RAM and that faster CPU, because it's a 3D game, so that can always do with a bit of extra CPU oomph behind it. Oh, those beautiful Workbench 1.3 colours. The Workbench 1.3 mouse as well. Oh, I love this icon. Ready? So there we are, plane sitting on the deck of the carrier. And now they're looking back at the carrier. That is a proper icon, isn't it? Look at the size of it. Anyway, you notice that the game itself is titled F-18 Interceptor, but the game is F-A-18 Interceptor. No idea why it's different. I think the game box is more accurate, because that's the actual name of the aircraft. Love that music. They say press any key, but only space it seems to work there. Right, the disk is not write enabled. If you wish to keep a log, insert an initialized and write enabled disk into DF0, then press return. If not, just press return. Just press return. Let's go with a free flight. This is where we need to use this. Don't get this with new games. Okay, so code 354A. Alpha, if we're going to go for the military side of things. Now we have to try and work out what it is on this. Does it go from the outside to the inside? Let's try it. So we'll start with 3 on the outer ring. 5, 4, and the window is A. 007 634. Nope, that's wrong. Let's go the other way then. AEE7 Alpha Echo 7. Where am I? Echo 7 1 6 0 7 5 7. That didn't work either. Oh, this flaming thing. I'm going to see if I can find out another way to do this. Now, I found an online site that allows you to key in the code. Apparently this is going to tell me what 3 Alpha 00 goes to. Command failed. Permission denied. You must own the original of this game to use this translator. Well, it looks to me that there's server issues at their end. I'm never going to get to play this, am I? 3. Oh, the code was falling apart. It is an old thing, isn't it? 3 Alpha 0 703. and it's rebooting the Amiga. Well, this has been an exercise in futility. So what do I do about these? Loading floppy disk is as much about playing the game as it is nostalgia. I could replace the floppy drive with the GoTech, which is a way to load ADF files off of a USB stick. I could install everything via WHD load, but does that work via ADFs? Would I still need to get the floppies for that? I really don't know, so if anyone's got some ideas about it, if you could just leave a comment and fill me in on the whole conundrum. Not necessarily the whole thing, just try and answer my question. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for watching. And one more thing before you go. I was going to leave you with a lovely rolling demo of F-18 Interceptor, which is capable with the game, but that didn't want to load either. So I'm just going to leave you with the music. Thanks!